Britney Spears' ex-husband, Sam Asghari, continues to talk about her. We got to talk about this, but before we get into it, hello, my name is Sebastian, and I spill pop culture tea videos every single day. So if you're looking for a new messy best friend, you have found me. So why don't you grab a snack and a drink and hit that subscribe button? I would be so incredibly grateful. Best friend, we got to talk because let me tell you something, girl. Britney Spears' ex-husband, honey, is Britney Spears' ex-husbanding, honey. Listen, Britney Spears' ex-husband, Sam Asghari, girl, he is Britney Spears' ex-husbanding right now. Something about Sam Asghari that I've always admired is his way of talking about Britney Spears in the media with such respect. This is something that when I found out that they were getting a divorce, I was so scared that he was going to start a war, because when money is involved, when ego is hurt, when things happen, people lose sight of that love that once was there and just go the distance and just freaking, create a bunch of fucking unnecessary drama. And I was terrified of that. I was terrified of like her secrets coming out or like things that the public, has no right to know. And you know what I mean? And like about being dirty. And I just, there was some rumors that he allegedly was requesting more money. And if that money didn't come, he was going to expose the whole truth. I'm not really sure if that was true, but I know that made headlines. But he was once again on a radio show today. And they simply asked him, like, do you think that you got anything positive for your career, after the Britney Spears relationship? And I was actually very surprised to see what he said. So this is what he said. Check this out.
You've been mentioning like establishing your career doing these things, going on traders. There's some portion of the world that knows you mostly as, Britney, your relationship with Britney Spears or Britney Spears' ex. Have you felt in terms of establishing your own name and your own career that is that something that's been like helpful to you, or is it something that you need to overcome when you're going up for roles, or is it a good thing to like get your foot in the door and show them what you can do?
I can't sit here and lie and say, oh, it wasn't good for me. Of course it gives you, when you're in such a public relationship, that gives you, that platform. So it sort of gave me the platform for who I am. But I was going there anyway because I was already working on, we met on an acting set. We met as coworkers and, I was already auditioning. I was already I just started acting at that moment. So I was already doing stuff anyway. So I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh, it didn't really do this. It didn't really do.
Right.
That's BS because at the end of the day, it did give me a platform. Did it, question certain things? Did it, make me have to work harder to prove myself? Absolutely. I think it's sort of in the acting, in the producer sessions, there was questions of, oh, do we really want to, hire someone that's a cheesy trainer? Because at the time I was also a trainer as well. That was my waiter job. Do we want to give him a platform because he's a cheesy trainer? Oh, and he's associated with a pop star, which is also cheesy as well. Or can we see him as a character? There was that line as well.
Listen, girl, it is no secret, honey, that everybody knows you because you're Britney Spears' ex-husband. Okay, name one movie or show that Sam Asghari has been in. I'll wait. Okay, you know what? I saw his season on Traders, and he did very well, and not really mentioning Britney at all, kind of. She was mentioned by some of his coworkers, and that was like the most that Britney Spears was mentioned when the castmates found out that he was Britney Spears' ex-husband. There is no secret that Sam Asghari has been trying to be famous. He's been trying to be the next Rock for many, many years. While he was with Britney, he would go to the opening of an envelope. He was on every single red carpet there was, and any red carpet that would have him, girl, And I will say that every single interview he did on red carpets, especially when their engagement was announced, and the reporters were like asking, him about Britney and asking about the wedding and stuff. And, he was always like, she's the boss. She's going to decide. I want her to be happy with it. Like, that is one thing that I will say that I am very thankful for with Sam is that he always put Britney Spears so high in the media. In the moments when the conservatorship, the Free Britney movement was happening, he spoke out and he, he basically said that, he just wants her to be free and have human rights like everyone else. And
the last thing I want to do is speak on my wife's behalf. I would never do that. I respect her privacy. That's why I don't talk as much. And I found it absolutely disgusting for the people that were in her life at the time when she didn't have a voice. They went and told her story like it was theirs. It was absolutely disgusting. And how are you going to take the most influential person of our generation, the princess of pop, America's sweetheart, and put her in prison where her father tells her what to do, what water to drink, who to see, and use her as a money-making machine? And then all of a sudden, after 15 years, when she's free, after all those gaslighting and after all those things that went down, now you're going to put her under a microscope and tell her story? No. That's also disgusting, so don't do that. And don't believe what you read online. 99% of the time, those are all clickbaits for you to click and for them to make money. And that time is over. Not going to allow that. And that should stop. It should stop. Absolutely. The gaslighting and all that shit, gotta stop.
Hey Sam, question man, are you controlling Britney?
Oh man, I don't even control what we have for dinner.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Careful,
Sorry, sorry about the car, I couldn't hear. What was that again, Sam?
No, I don't even control what we have for dinner.
And question man, what's up with the other fans and conspiracies going on, man?
Oh man, in the past there has been a lot of stuff going on, so I understand where they're coming from. They're just being protective. If anything, they're being good fans.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. Hey, happy New Year's, man. Good to see you.
And I have to say, I appreciate all of that behavior because, you have someone like Kevin Federline who fucking, exploited their children on a freaking TV show just so he can get a quick paycheck, you know what I mean? And talk really badly about Britney. So I appreciate Sam Asghari for being so respectful towards Britney.
Hey, Sam, how's it going, man? Hey, a question. In Britney's new book, she said that you're a gift from God. How do you feel about that?
That made me smile. So to be honest, that made me smile. I'm freaking proud of her, and I hope she takes over the world.
And I think it's very smart of him to be realistic and say, you know what, without Britney, I would not be here. Without Britney, nobody would know my name, okay? And one thing he said, like, well, we met at an acting gig. You were an extra. Your body got you there, not your acting boo. Let's just, I'm sorry, girl, let's just get that straight. Your body got you there, But I'm actually, you know what? I don't think that he was the worst thing for her. She said that when she had to call in the court, he was right there next to her, holding her hand and, calming her down. And I am so grateful that he was there throughout those moments. They worked out together. They made funny videos together. She was in the gym all the time with him in incredible shape, just like, dancing and doing couples workouts and going to the pool and going hiking. Like, I really do think that they were good for one another. And, obviously there's a lot of rumors that he was, supposedly a plant or like, he worked with the conservatorship and stuff. That has not been, like proven or anything, but I don't know. I like them together. I did. I liked them together. I thought that, he respected her privacy. He always put her first, and they always looked like they were having fun together when she was under the conservatorship. So I feel like if you're under that type of horrible, just chains that Britney Spears was on, it was nice to have a hot guy that she could at least have fun with and, flirt with and kiss and, do other things and work out and just have fun, because at the end of the day, that is what it's about, is having fun with your partner. And I will say I'm sad that he and Britney did not work out. Britney went to one of his sister's weddings. Like I saw her more in a normal setting because, you know, he does come from a normal family. And it was kind of refreshing to see Britney like that. And I hope that she finds another guy who is not desperate to expose all their secrets or use her name or anything like that. And I think that he understands and appreciates the fact that if it was not for Britney, he wouldn't even be in that radio show doing that interview. And I think that his ego is very well like put down in a good way, and he's not driven by his ego. So I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like him, and a lot of people believe that he was like part of the conservatorship, but I like to believe he wasn't. And I'm just grateful that while she was under those restraints, you know, she at least had somebody to watch movies with at night and to cook with and to work out with and to just go in the nature with, you know what I mean? And also like when she was released from that facility, he was the one who picked her up. And I don't know, that's why I'm like, I don't think I have a lot of bad things to say about Sam Asghari, to be very honest. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. I am so grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And I just ask that you guys please send a prayer to Los Angeles and everywhere where hate is winning. I just pray for light. I pray in my whole heart, pray that there is peace and that there is light and that there is just humanity, and that is what I pray the most. So I love you all so much. I'm so grateful and thankful for you, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye.